Hey, what's going on,
Hello.
everybody?
Up.
Hey,
We
Jared.
have
Hey,
got
Jared, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yep.
I learned how to spell my name, so we're doing good.
Jared has gotten a little older and a little less hair.
Lost all of his hair.
A little
Yeah.
wiser.
Yeah,
Wiser.
grown a little facial hair. Gotten a little older and a little about time.
All right, I think I got everything squared away over here. Perfect. So, yeah, well, I don't think anybody's in here just yet, but for the nobody that's here, everybody, this is Brian. This is Nicky B's Faja, his father. Jared told us all about Brian last week. He said that Brian has the same last name as Nick. Imagine that.
Imagine.
Yep.
And that I am his father. Well, the other way around.
And
yes,
He is
you,
my father.
yeah, you are my son. That is true. And however, I will never call you Nicky B. That's sorry, dude.
No, that is something
Shh.
little
Who
known
is-
fact that
Who is Paul Peters? Does anybody know a Paul Peters? No?
I do not know Paul Peters.
So somebody in the Facebook chat, Paul Peters, he said, Jared looks like the spokesperson for Cialis. Jeez. Oh, man.
I don't know
Alright.
if we want to touch that one.
I don't know. Paul Peters, I'm not sure who you are, but
Hey,
he just came in fire and he chose violence today.
I think that, with Nick being here, I think it's kind of a moot point that I probably don't need it.
Jeez.
that is accurate. Yep.
That's accurate. Yep.
I am living proof that I'm living proof that my dad does not need Cialis.
Is that,
I didn't want to say it, but I just figured I'd get it out.
Are we at all sure? Are we sure that that's what Cialis is, or are we assuming?
No,
I think we're assuming.
we're sure. I've seen the commercials on TV, so that's yes.
Oh, okay. I just googled Cialis, and the first thing that says is Cialis more powerful than Viagra. So that confirmed. Confirmed.
I was gonna say, be careful what you're googling this too.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna. I'm probably gonna get ads now for. Hey, do you want to buy this? No.
Yeah. Becca's loving this already. Her husband and her father-in-law talking about Cialis live for everyone
For
to hear.
for the world to hear. For the world. This will 100% be a clip and be uploaded to our TikTok shortly. At some point.
100%. Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Dad, but it has to be this way.
I guess, when you make an impact, hopefully it'll go viral.
There you go.
Yep.
And then
And you sure made an impact right away.
and then we will
Released.
and then we will have to pay you royalties
Well,
for
hey,
your
as long as they
Cialis
come to me-
likeness.
As long as they come to me and my name is spelled, Jared Bryon, then it's not a problem.
Perfect. I'm not really sure. Well, I guess because it's called Jared Stu and Nicky B, but I did, Brian, I don't know if you saw, I did create you a little name tag under your name. It actually says your name.
Yeah.
So,
That is crazy.
yep.
I
So
see. And you even spelled it right, man.
I
How
spelled it
about
right. I usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, because
Yeah,
my dad is Brian as well, but he is Bryan. Or wait, no. Yeah. Shoot, wait,
Yeah.
no. Maybe he's Bri. Oh man, bad son award.
Oh boy.
I can't
Here
remember.
we go again.
No, he's Bri. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna.
I haven't seen it spelled my way very much, so. But
Yeah, you are the only one I've ever seen.
Well, and then
Yeah, that way.
I was gonna say, filling out the background check information for my new job. I recently found out, or not found out, but just was reminded of my dad's spelling for his middle name is also weird. It's Brian Dwayne Brinson. And take a guess how Dwayne is spelled. Stewie, go.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
So the two that I would assume would be Dwayne or Duane.
And those
Both would
are
be incorrect.
both are incorrect. Yes. The real spelling is. Go ahead, Dad. Tell him.
Dwain.
What? That's like
That's
D
insane.
that's like if
D.
somebody said the word like drain, but they had a speech impediment.
Yeah, hey,
Pour
that
it
went
down
down
to
to
Dwayne.
Went down to Dwayne.
Pour it down to Dwayne.
Yeah, I told my mom, I was like, man, his parents must have been just
Oh.
really messing with him at that point.
Well, they did grow up in the Enlightenment age, if you want to call it that.
The
So I mean,
Enlightenment
there
age.
might have been some drugs involved there. I don't know, dude. But my
Could have been.
sister has a weird name too. So but
Who is Paul Peters? Oh my gosh. Why does Brian look like he eats dinner at the strip club alone? What in the world?
Paul Peters.
Paul
Are
Peters,
you sure you don't know him, Dad?
do you
that I'm aware of.
he chose violence today. This must be he has
Jeez.
no profile picture. This must be somebody I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's I don't know. Somebody just having a
Yeah,
good time. Hey, be nice to my man Brian here, okay? He's here as a guest.
nice.
Paul
Yes.
Peters. Huh?
Yeah,
Oh.
we tried to be nice to everyone around here.
Or
Probably not like
show your face in a profile picture so we can make fun of you
Well,
too.
yeah, he
yeah.
does. He has. It looks like he just created that page because there's nothing there.
Nothing on there.
Grammy says she's here, but she doesn't want to get involved.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she doesn't
I
want to
don't
get
blame you, Grammy.
she doesn't want to get involved, all right.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. But yeah, Brian Dwayne Brinson. That is something.
And say it again, Dwain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwayne. Pour it
So,
down to
Well, that's
Dwayne.
so Stewie, my parents did it to me and my sister. My sister's name is Daylene, and that's a combination of my mom and dad's name. So my
Daylene.
Daylene. So my dad's name is Dale, and my mom's name is Athleen.
So is it
So
like
it's
Dalene?
yes, and then her middle name is Leota.
What? All right.
So Aileen Leota. Yep. Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
word.
Paul Peters, dude, you could not be more wrong. He's throwing shade at Brian for some reason. I don't understand.
Just going
He is
hard.
he is not that guy, Brian. Brian Brinson
Maybe,
is not that guy for sure.
maybe that's Ferguson.
Maybe it is.
With
Yeah.
alias Paul Peters.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I don't know
All
if
right. All right, Paul. All right, you're getting suspended for 15 minutes for that one.
It's the
Yeah,
strippers in Jello. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, we might have
Gosh.
to put the just kind of put the brakes on it.
Yeah, yes, just take a time out and think about your actions and I'm a father now, so I can say these things. Go to your room and think about what you did. You understand? So when we were talking about Brian's middle name being Dwayne, but sounds like Drain with a speech impediment, I feel like I'm not sure if Jared is. I know he's working. If he's on break, I don't know if he'll be listening, but I feel like he would want me to tell this story. So there's a guy that we had played Destiny with before, and he was a wee lad. He had a very high pitched voice, not high pitched, but yeah, he was young kid, but he had a speech impediment. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but when we were playing, it was just very, very funny to listen to him talk while we were playing. So we were doing these raids that were like communication is key. You got to be on point with your communication, or you're not gonna beat the raid. But his R's were W's, and his name was Atomic Radiation. So when he said it, it was Atomic Radiation. Um, but in the raid that we were doing, the raid was called like Crota's End. And so when you're doing the boss fight, you're killing Crota, and he was hit hit quota, like quota, kind of like Quota, hit quota. Um, and man, he's calling out weapons, and dude, it was so funny. It was so atomic radiation. He became a topic of conversation between the friend group for a long, long time. Atomic radiation. So if Jared is tuned in, I know he'd enjoy that reference there.
Maybe Paul Peters is Jared.
It could be. Could be.
Could be trying to go stealthy. I don't know. That's crazy.
That would be that's very crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, atomic radiation.
Well, although from what I understand, Jared's kind of technologically challenged, so he might not be able to be that stealthy.
Yeah, definitely not advanced.
I would say Jared is to technology as Brian is to riding an actual bicycle.
Oh, come on now, dude.
They're great.
Oh, I just went out today, dude. Again, rode 18 miles.
So I would say ride. I would say ride.
If you've got to pedal the bike, is it not still a valid bike? If I don't pedal, I don't go anywhere.
Yeah, but okay. So where does the electric assist? Like
there are levels of assist, and my dad always keeps it on the highest level, so it's not like he's doing nothing.
Dude, way to throw me on the bus. Holy moly!
So what exactly does the assist part, like what does it do? Because I really don't know.
So what it does is as I pedal,
yeah,
it gives me greater torque. So it makes me go. It acts as if it's assisting the torque. So it gives me greater momentum.
Okay, so it keeps the wheels spinning more.
No, not necessarily that, but it's harder. So it's like I'm pedaling harder.
Okay.
So
yeah, so it's 100% cheating. Got it.
No, Becca has the cheating bike, not me.
Oh
Becca's
yes.
got the full blown, throttle.
I think the difference between Brian and Becca, other than your names being different, is that she's not in denial about the cheating, whereas you actively deny the cheating.
Wow.
She does like to tell the truth. I can vouch for that. I live with her, so she does like to tell the truth, and she does say that she rides a throttle and she uses it, unabashedly. So, but my dad does not.
Yeah, but see, Nick, you've lived with me for how long, man? And so, do I lie?
Ooh, he's put you on the spot.
Oh man,
it's been a little while since he's lived with you, so maybe you changed your ways. Just ask Paul. Just ask Paul Peters. Apparently, you're a different guy.
Maybe my dad's turned into a stripper tipping liar.
And apparently, you tip in Jello. I don't even know how one does that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he says.
Changed.
Man, what a time to be alive. Dougie B, Jared is working tonight, bro. Jared said he's stuck in the train shed because you wouldn't work overtime for him to come home and be on the podcast. So he's stuck at work.
Yeah. This is the guy. This is the guy that we've talked about in the. He has the basement full of baseball paraphernalia.
yeah, paraphernalia. Yeah. Oh man, that was a Jared word, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Paraphernalia.
Yes.
Made it sound like you had some bongs down there and some, just all the bad connotations with that word, paraphernalia. Some bongs. Oh, okay, Brian. Yeah, I'm sure you never saw those at the strip club. That's we gotta stop. We gotta stop making that reference. I feel so wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that my big thing is you guys both know, so I'm okay.
That's right.
That's the bottom line.
We both know, and now the world knows. So
We
That's
know.
it. That's it.
gets the cat's out of the bag.
Brian Dwayne Brinson is a stand-up guy who would not be caught dead in a dirty establishment like that,
Absolutely
Nor
not.
alive. Not caught alive either. So
nor alive.
Oh, that's probably a good distinction to make.
And he does not need Cialis. You
that
understand?
is true.
Becca
Very
says
Man,
Becca says he just goes for the buffet. Do we need
You want
to
me to
do?
get my wife in here?
Oh yeah, let's meet Mary. Bring her in.
yeah,
She's a saint. Saint Mary.
Mary
Oh,
can
oh,
vouch for
she's about
your
ready to have
saint
your hide,
ways.
Stu.
What's that?
She's about ready to have your hide.
Why? Because
Giving me,
I'm telling on you.
yeah. Well, no,
I didn't tell
because
on her.
well, I'll tell you what, man, you better watch it.
Oh man,
Crossing me is one thing, crossing her is another.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that.
She may be small, but she is fierce.
She's a fireball,
Yeah.
Mary. I've never seen it, but I can imagine. Dougie B says that Jared relieved him today at 6:42. Hey, that's 3 minutes before 6:45. Doug sounds like he was on time. I don't know.
Wow.
Except for I think
That's a first.
Doug expects Jared to relieve him at like 6:15 or 6:30.
Oh, so he was late.
So, did you guys see what Becca said about me?
That you go for the buffet.
Just for the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't
Maybe
matter where he is. If it's a good buffet, he'll attack it.
I believe she might be talking about the strip club buffet.
maybe we should time Becca
Right.
out too. Should we put her on a 15-minute timeout?
We should put Beck on a timeout.
I'm not going to do
Yes.
that. Not yet. Not yet, but just know this is your first penalty of that type, and if you receive a second one, then that's right.
Yeah, I'll have to have a good stern talking with her after the podcast.
I think you should.
Yeah.
You should. We are Nicky B. We're 2 weeks away, yeah, about 2 weeks away
Is it 2
from
weeks?
trivia night.
Yeah, a little over 2 weeks. Sunday
Bri-
the 26th. It'll be a good time.
Brian, you want to ride down to South Carolina with me and Jared? You can bring your electric bike. You
I
can
have
actually
to
just
say-
probably ride behind us.
I have to say, Stu, that I probably would be a detriment in the office trivia game.
Ugh.
Because I have never, to be honest with you, I've never seen a full episode.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I know.
Wow,
Say
not
it.
even a full episode, not even in
Nope.
passing.
No,
Have
not even-
you
I
seen
know-
like clips or anything, and you're just not
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you just don't think it's funny, or it just looks kind of dumb?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just not. I don't know. I mean, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, it's
He's
disappointing.
more of a what would it be, like a drama thriller, like the
I
what's
like-
the one show is it The Rookie? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah, the
The
rookie.
rookie.
Yeah.
Brian strikes me as a CSI kind of guy.
No. NCIS. We did
Oh,
watch CSI for a
NCIS.
while.
NCIS.
Then it got weird. Yeah. But like, we watch things like what else do we watch? There's
Law and
new one-
Order.
Yeah, no. That's no.
Oh, that's a goat. That's one of the goats.
Watched we have started watching there's one on Netflix called The Lincoln Lawyer.
I've seen that. I've not seen it, but I've seen it.
It's a good show.
Good one.
It's good.
Okay. The
We
Lincoln
there's
Lawyer.
unfortunately there's only 2 seasons of it right now. So, but
The
so
Lincoln
we
Lawyer.
watched that. We watched what else we watched? Other things like NCIS.
You watched you guys watched Manifest, didn't you?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch
Yeah.
Manifest too?
No,
Ah,
no, I did not.
What about
Yeah,
Quantico?
that's a good movie.
Did you see Quantico?
No.
Come on, man. What's up?
So, as far as television, so I used to watch a lot of not even a lot of television shows. I used to
just a lot
watch.
of The Office.
Yeah, really, no joke. I've watched that show from start to finish. I can confidently say over 50 times.
50.
Oh, yeah.
Is that an exaggeration?
No, not at all, not at all.
So
Wow.
Not
my
at all.
question is, let's do what date did you start watching it?
So I started watching The Office when I was in high school, because Tony Sebastian was
Okay.
like all about that show. So when it was on live, I wasn't into it. I never gave it a shot, never watched it. And at the time, like those like I feel like I'm just gonna sound really old here, but they didn't have like Netflix didn't exist where like you remember when
Oh,
Netflix first started, Netflix was like just the
back in my
DVDs.
day. Back
Yeah.
in my day.
Yeah, but Netflix used to be like just the DVDs that you ordered from the website and they'd send them to you and
Yeah.
you'd return them. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like readily available like that, and because I wasn't like caught up from the beginning, I didn't want to just jump in the middle. But
Right.
as it became available online and I started watching, I started from the beginning. I think season 8 and season 9 were the only two seasons that I watched live. Um,
Wow, and it ended in 2013, so that's 2011. So 2011 to 2023, that's 12 years. In 12 years, you've watched this show 50 times.
yeah, yeah. Well, and let me also preface that by saying, so like when I was single, right, and like I lived by myself, I would literally just like when I came home from work, I would turn it on. And so as I'm like doing dishes or as I'm cleaning up or even when I was going to sleep, like I had a TV in my room, so I would just put The Office on and fall asleep. So like a couple episodes would cycle through until Netflix was like, "Hey, are you still watching?" So I wasn't actively watching every single episode, but
Right.
I mean it cycled through all 9 seasons. I would say easily 50 times.
Wow.
Essentially, you eat, sleep, and breathe The Office.
That is correct. Yeah.
And
Right.
poop.
And poop
And
The
poop, yep.
Office. Yeah. And also speaking of pooping in The Office, the guy that will be hosting our trivia night, Todd Packer,
Oh yeah.
he pooped in Michael Scott's office in the show. So perfect,
Little
perfect
fun fact
segue.
there for you.
Yeah,
So you see there, I didn't even watch the show, and I'm already, up on it.
you're already, yeah. Well, if you ever have any questions about the show, you can just shoot me a text and I'll answer it for you.
Stu, there's movies that I do stuff like that with. Like I can say that I've watched probably the Field of Dreams
Ah,
probably 50 times.
it's a good
You
movie.
know,
Yeah,
The Rookie, The Rookie. Oh, I love The
with
Rookie.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Let's go,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That movie, I would say that movie is so undervalued, so underappreciated. That's a great movie.
It is
Wait,
a
Very,
great.
that's one of your top three, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I put it in my top three, maybe top. I
I'm
don't know,
pretty sure.
top five
I'm
maybe.
pretty sure.
I
But
think you had a top five too.
it's very good. It's very good. Very wholesome too. Like
Right.
it's clean. It's a good family movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. Oh man, that movie's
Yeah.
great.
So I've watched. Nick can attest to that. I just that's something I'll sit down and watch. Above everything else. So.
Yeah, if you're gonna sit down and watch a movie, that's I mean you're gonna watch sports movies, but when's the last time you sat down and watched a movie?
Well, so since we started streaming, we
Oh
came
yeah.
up with the what is it, 21st century, 22nd century?
Yeah.
Uh, we I
Yes,
have what's that?
I was gonna say that they finally, my parents finally took the leap, and they are now cord cutters.
Yeah. So how about that, Stu? Yeah.
Wow, look at you. You have arrived.
That and electric bike. What more can you ask for?
You have
Uh,
Oh
arrived.
man, on the
but
up and up. But yeah,
so since we cut the cord, I've actually watched probably the last week. I've probably watched a movie every night. So remember, I
oh
asked you,
wow,
Nick, about if you had seen Air.
yeah,
That
yeah,
did you watch it yet?
yeah. I watched it the other day. Yeah, it was pretty good. I
Yeah.
like
Have
I
you
like
seen it, Stu?
Matt Damon in it.
What was that movie? What'd you say?
Air.
Air?
Air. Yep. It's
Yeah, the
about
Mm.
Jordan. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player there is.
Oh, you mean Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time?
oh, you
That
mean
guy.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball
Okay.
player of all time?
Oh, so
Okay.
not the second greatest basketball player of all time. Okay,
No.
gotcha. Okay, I was just wanting to make sure, that we were talking about the same guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
most definitely.
Oh yeah.
perfect.
Did you see it, Stu? It's a good
I have
movie.
not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's all about the deal that he made, or that he was able to make, or that his mom actually made for him,
With Nike.
on his behalf with Nike. Yep.
Okay.
Because
I've.
he was originally gonna like he was all about Adidas, and he, basically took the meeting out of courtesy, essentially to his mother, and they ended up making the pitch, and the rest is history.
And he is
You know,
set for the rest of his life, and so are his kids. And
it is funny because when they came out with the Nike basketball line, they were actually considering Nike was considering not going into the basketball game.
oh wow,
If that wouldn't have fallen, if that deal would have fallen through, we probably wouldn't have Air Jordan. We wouldn't have Nike basketball shoes at all.
huh?
So pretty wild.
What
Interesting.
what basketball shoes did you wear back in the day?
Me?
Yeah, in
Well,
high school.
my first real pair of basketball shoes were probably ponies.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
I've heard of them. I've never actually seen them,
Are you
but
serious? You've never seen a
no, maybe I have, but
Oh my goodness.
obviously
So,
it's not common anymore.
and then baseball shoes. Stu, you probably have never heard of these either. Is spot built.
No,
So those were high tech back in the day, man.
I
So,
remember. So I played basketball 1 year when I was in New Cumberland Middle School. It was like seventh grade, and I'm pretty sure I just wore the sneakers that I wore every day. Didn't have basketball shoes. I was bad, and I didn't start, so I played out my whole season and then did not play again. But baseball, I grew up. I wore Griffies all the time.
oh, did
Hmm.
you?
Griffies, yeah,
I didn't think they had Griffey's out yet when you were playing, Stu.
yeah.
No, I had a pair of Griffies.
Yeah.
I think I
Well,
wore one pair.
so let me also. So my dad, um, he doesn't have a Facebook, so he can't be on here and he can't hear me blasting him right now. But my dad has like the smallest feet in the world for a grown man. Um,
What size?
uh, I want to say it's like a 7 or an 8. Like they're very he has very small feet.
Those are
Um,
tiny.
so when I was growing up, like we went to my dad's house, me and my brother, we went to his house every other weekend, and um, we would go to church on Sunday, and he kept a pair of church like we had church shoes at his house, and as we're going, mine started getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and like the one Sunday we were like getting ready for church, and like my toes were like this, curled up in them. I'm like, Dad, I was like, hey, I need to get new shoes. Like, can I borrow a pair of yours? And he's like, yeah. I'll go get you a pair, and then, next week, the next time you guys are here, we'll go out, we'll get you some new church shoes. Perfect, awesome. He brings over a pair of shoes. They were the same size shoes that I had on, and I was like 14.
Oh my gosh.
So I had
Wow.
to go to church that day, like with my toes curled up in my shoes, very uncomfortable. Did not feel very good at all. And then, yeah, then we made it a point next time we were there to go get some new shoes. But I'm wearing a 10.5, and I'm pretty sure he's still like a 7 or an 8. He's got very tiny feet.
I worked with a
That's
guy.
crazy.
I worked with a guy at Unify that had size 7. He was like 40, probably 45, 48. He wore a size 7.
How
I'm like,
tall
"Dude,
was he?
huh? He
How
was probably
tall
about
was he?
5'8", 5'7", something like that. So
I would
Oh,
say
wow.
that's disproportionate. That's still on the
yeah,
Yeah,
smaller
yeah,
side.
that's
it
like
looks
I think
funny.
the average guy is like 5'9", so it's not like he was incredibly short, just
No?
incredibly small feet.
Yeah, very,
You know what they
very.
say about people that have
Uh,
small feet?
yeah, they
They
have
wear
small
small
shoes.
shoes.
He,
Yep. We were on the same page.
We
yes,
were.
that's true. That is true.
Uh,
Hey,
Grammy
hey,
hopped in the chat and was asked us to ask you, Aaron, what does your daughter mix in her applesauce?
So she's asking me this, and I'll answer the question, but I'm also gonna make fun of Grammy a little bit because she kind of deserves it for this. So, Ellie mixed ketchup in her applesauce one
ooh,
time, pretty disgusting. She's actually on separate occasions mixed a lot of things together now, as children do. Tonight she had some yogurt, And she mixed that with, she had some egg noodles and some chicken, like mixed together in like a cream of chicken kind of sauce, and she put some yogurt, mixed it all together. Um, but
Sounds like
see, the crazy thing about this, right? My daughter, she's 2.5. Grammy, she's older than 2.5. And Grammy quite frequently, um, for dinner, all she wants sometimes for dinner is just to eat a ketchup sandwich.
ooh, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard you guys talking about that the other day. I'm like, oh my word.
Yeah, it's really
That,
gross. So
that's
she'll
like
take a piece of white bread, she'll put some ketchup on it, she'll fold it over, and then she loves
so.
it.
Is this on? Well, whose side is this on, Aaron?
This is
Your mom,
my mom's mom. Yep.
your mom's mom.
Yep.
Wow, wow.
Yep.
Does your
So
mom do that?
no. No. I don't, I mean, I don't think so. That's something I would think if you do, you don't talk about it. You probably shouldn't tell
Uh,
anybody that number
If
one,
you
that you
do,
eat it, and number two, that you think it's delicious. Because
if
both
you
of
do,
those things
Grammy
are
yells
weird.
it to the world.
She tells everybody.
Yeah.
wow, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. But
that's
I'm well. I will preface this. We got to hit the brakes a little bit because we are actually talking to the guy who mixes cheese and ho-hos.
sorry,
That
dude.
that's
So
disgusting too. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Ugh.
Dude, so is there anything you eat that's weird?
Anything that I eat that's weird?
Yeah.
So I would I don't know if my wife's still in the chat. If you can think of, Alexa, if you're here and you can think of anything, you can say it. I don't think so. I'm a super picky eater. So like I don't think I eat anything weird. I would say I just eat like like a 7-year-old sometimes. Like I
hmm.
just want dinosaur chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, or pretty much any type of chicken or beef with pasta. That's
Well,
I
hey, I
like
mean
that.
that's
And I'm not a big sweets guy either.
Stewie, I don't look at that as picky. I look at it as because I'm that way. I'll eat hamburgers. So my menu would consist of hamburgers, spaghetti, uh, noodles with chili, um,
Big
and what
Whoa,
else?
city.
whoa, 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 whoa. Noodles with chili?
Yes,
So like you make
mixed.
chili and you put some noodles in there?
Yeah,
Oh, now you're talking. I've never
that's
done that before.
You've
dude,
never done that? Come
No.
on.
that was one of
Ah,
Nick's staples when he was growing up, man. That's what I
yeah,
would make.
that's really good.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord. You know, my mom invited me to her house tonight for dinner and they were having chili at 7 p.m. Mom, if you are in the chat, next time, throw some noodles in that bad boy. I want to
No,
try it.
next time she makes chili, just bring noodles.
Yeah,
You can bring them.
just bring a, what type of noodles are we talking? Like egg noodles or any kind or
Elbow, elbow, right?
elbow? Hmm.
So
That
so
sounds
Becca
delicious.
just called Becca just called me out in the chat. So Stu, you're probably gonna think I'm bad because it's canned chili. It's Hormel canned chili.
Ah, that is bad, Brian.
Yeah.
That is bad.
It's good though, dude. You put noodles
Chili's
with it.
chili's
It's
not
bang.
really that hard to make.
It's
Come
banging.
on, Brian.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, I won't put you on blast for that one too bad. Um, what was I gonna say? I had something food related that I was gonna say, and now I can't remember.
Nick,
Um,
Well,
Becca's
oh,
messing with fire, Nick.
yeah, she is. She likes to instigate, so
I'll say.
especially here in the chat.
is that
Yeah.
strike two, guys? Is that strike two?
That's strike two. She's got one strike left.
One strike left,
We're about to ban her
she's
for
gonna be a
15 minutes.
15
You know
minute
how
timeout, Becca.
you know how those keyboard warriors are.
Ugh,
I know a
Becca
couple of
and
those.
her freaking fingers, just always.
That was a really good sound.
Yeah, you like that?
Yep,
Nick, how much longer you got left, dude?
How much what?
How much longer you got left until you're a full-blown father?
I got 2 months. A
January
little
18th.
over 2 months.
Oh,
Yep.
8 week. Wow.
Yeah, the technical due date is January 16th, but obviously we're going to keep him in there 2 more days so that Stu and him can share the same birthday.
And that would
So
be the second time that a Brinson and a Stewart share a birthday.
that is true. That would
true.
be pretty epic.
Yep, that would be great.
Yep.
That would
And
be
for
great.
those of you who don't know, my dad and Aaron's brother share a birthday, September 8th.
September 8th, couple years
Yep.
Twin
apart.
from different
Yeah.
mother.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Different
that's
mother.
cool.
Um,
So,
Yeah.
so 8 weeks, man. Wow, that's crazy. I
I
can't believe.
know.
I can't believe I'm about to be a grandfather.
Yeah, we've got our hospital bag all set. We're about to probably this weekend we're gonna finish it up, just kind of verify everything's there, and then put it in the truck and make sure it's there. Make sure that it's ready to go. Because I don't know, everything's gone pretty average so far. Like
Yeah,
he's been in the 50th percentile, so he's just kind of like it's been pretty normal and really healthy so far, and it's pretty great because I don't know, first baby, first pregnancy, you just worry a little bit, and it's been a blessing to have it all be normal.
that's cool. That is cool.
do you
Stu,
guys?
how long did Alexa's labor last?
So we ended up having an emergency C-section.
Okay.
And I was just going to say, so Nick was saying about having like the bags packed. I was going to tell him if you didn't do that, make sure you do that because everybody told us to do that, but we were like, ah, no, we got time, we got time, we got time. And so a week before, um, I think yeah, so we were going to have a C-section anyway on June 18th. Um, and then the week before, like we went for like the last appointment with the baby doctor, and they took Alexa's like vitals and stuff like that, and her, I don't remember, is it blood pressure or whatever? Something was very high, and they were afraid if they let it go for a week that it could hurt her, hurt the baby. And
Yep.
so we were sitting there, and I was not prepared at all, and they were like, "Hey, you guys are leaving here, and you're going to the hospital, and you're having a baby tonight." And we're like, "I'm sorry, what?" Um, So yeah, so we left there and we didn't tell them that we didn't have bags in the car already. So we actually left there and ran home really quick. Um, I had not. So Brian, you might know. So the work schedule that we worked at Vitro, I was still on my crew schedule. So I was
Okay.
on my long week off, and I was scheduled to go back to work that night. Um, so I took a nap in the afternoon, and I always showered before I went to work. So I had not showered yet that day. So we came home, and I was like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to shower in the hospital for the next couple days. I was like, I'm jumping in the shower real quick too. So yeah, it was a rush at home. It was like packing everything up. I'm jumping in the shower real quick, and we got over to the hospital about 5:30, and we had baby in arms at 9 p.m.
Wow.
5:30 p.m. You
Yeah,
got there?
yep, 5:30
Oh, okay.
p.m. Yep, once we got like the initial like there was paperwork and stuff like that and
Yeah.
the doctor had to get in and all that, but once they did all that it was pretty quick process and I
Yeah.
will I will never forget being in the room for the C-section. I was up like just talking to Alexa and like, hey, like everything's gonna be good. You're doing a great job, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden the doctor was like, hey, like we're about to, pull your daughter out. Do you want to see it? And I don't think I was thinking, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And I stood up and looked over that sheet, and boy, oh boy, that was a mess. that was looked like the Civil War over there, man. It was wild. So yeah, but
Just
then
throwing intestines around. Just
yeah, dude, it was like, and then I took pictures. Like I don't know why I took
No.
pictures, but I took pictures. I still have them. And
Wow.
yeah, dude, it was weird. It was weird. Um, but then like a couple minutes later, they were pulling her out and holding her is cool, Nick. Man, that those first couple minutes where you're holding your child, man, I'm pumped for it. I can't wait.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day and talking with Becca about it. It was like, you know, if something did happen and she had to have a C-section, I was thinking, wow, that would be just something else. Like, because with birth or like with a natural birth, you have that labor, that time to kind of process it, and then like it's kind of this gradual thing, and then oh, here comes a baby, and you hold her. And
Yeah.
but with a C-section, that would just be like essentially instant, like, Oh, you
Yeah.
just pull the baby out and there he is. You don't really get any time to process it. It's like, oh shoot, I'm responsible for this life.
It's just like having nerve surgery on your knee. Yep, yep. Okay, we're done.
We're done now. You're all
Yep,
stitched up. You're good.
you're good to go. Get up, Becca.
Oh yeah,
All right,
Alexa.
take yourself home.
So Alexa just put in here, and this is a funny story too. Um, so when they were pulling Ellie out,
Yeah.
I walked around to the side of the table and was like watching it. And so for reference, Ellie, I'm not sure what she was at her last doc appointment, but for her first like year and a half, even 2 years, she was up in like the 80th, 90th percentile in her head size. And so
Oh,
I don't know if so they had to do the C-section because Ellie was breech, she was head up. And so that's why they had the C-section scheduled because she never turned. So they're in there and like they grab her legs and they just start pulling. And I'm like, me personally, I'm thinking like, hey, that's a baby. Like, chill, relax, like take it easy. Obviously, they've done that before, so they know what they're doing. But they're like pulling her legs and pulling her by the waist, and her head is stuck. And they're just pulling and pulling. I'm like, hey, come on, guys, like that's my daughter, you know? It was, yeah, it was really weird. They were, again, they know what they're doing, but your first kid and you've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
It was super weird. But then eventually her gigantic melon popped out, and yeah.
Yeah, Nick, you better hope that your boy doesn't have Brinson. He's
Excuse
got a
me.
yeah.
Brinson.
And
Becca's
I,
gonna
I
be in trouble.
I tell Becca all the time that our baby boy's gonna have a massive head just because it runs in the family, and she essentially cries to me like, "No, please don't say that."
So, Aaron, I have to tell you, I don't know, Nick, I'm not sure if you remember this story or not, but first time when Nick was born, about probably I think it was like a week early. Mare wakes me up. It's like 4 a.m. and Mare had prepared me for false labor. And so, a week early, whatever. I'm thinking she waking me up. She said, "Brian, we need to go." And I said, "Mare, go back to sleep. It's gas." She got mad at me about kicked me out of bed, so I figured we better go. So, but his labor wasn't long. His labor, he was born, I think it was like 6 hours, and then
Okay.
Michaela's labor was like 45 minutes.
Ah, see,
So
that's not bad at all.
no, 45 minutes. I mean, yeah, I
I've
mean,
known
it was crazy because we had to take Nick somewhere to Dave and Emily Lentz so they could keep him. And then we drove to the hospital, and I had my wisdom teeth out the day before. So I was as sick as, everything. I
r-
almost missed her birth because it was coming out of both ends of me. So anyway,
You probably loopy too from the meds.
it was bad. I wasn't supposed to drive. They put me under.
Jeez, I was just wondering. I was like, don't they tell you not to drive for like 48 hours or something like that?
72.
72.
70.
That's
Yeah.
funny. You probably still had like you're chewing on gauze and
It
oh,
was ugly. It
oh
was
man,
ugly.
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect storm. Becca says that her main fear is a Brinson head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it. I understand it. I mean, we do have big heads. We do have big heads. Both my sister and I, my dad. I don't know about any other Brinsons. Do all the Brinsons have big heads?
My mom had a big head.
This feels like we're insulting your family.
I know.
Is did is Pete Peterson back again or whatever his name was? Is he back?
Paul Peters?
Paul Peters, whatever.
My wife is indicating that my entire family, except for my dad, had big heads. So
Really?
my brother, my sister, my nephew, my niece. So
Jeff and
Brinson
all his girls.
is a real thing.
Becca
Wow.
just threw in the chat, Mary had a perfect birth too. Is there a story there?
No, yeah, that just because she with me it was like 45 minutes and then or no, with me it was like an hour and then with Michaela it was like 45 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to come down here?
We just kind of slid out.
Like
Yeah.
butter.
Mayor's saying 4 hours for you, Nick, from start to
Or
finish. 4 hours from start to finish.
well
That's
then she
still
lied
not.
at us at dinner.
Huh?
She lied to us at dinner then.
That's still
Uh-oh.
not bad. 4 hours isn't bad. I know people that have been, it's been like a day and a half and stuff like that. That
I
sounds
I
terrible.
may disappear off the screen here, so come here. Come here.
There she
There she
is.
is.
Mary's here.
Hey.
So
So,
set up.
so Mary lied to Nick.
4 hours with you and pushed for an hour.
Oh,
And
okay.
All right.
Ah,
like an hour and a half total with a few minutes of pushing.
Yeah.
So Becca wants to take after me.
Yes, Becca does. She does not want to be in labor for more than a few hours, and I don't blame her.
Well, Nick,
There.
be prepared for that false labor, Nick. You know,
it's
I
not
will.
gas.
that's right. It's not gas.
When Becca wakes me up, I will tell her to go back to sleep. And just like I did when she told me she was pregnant, she took the pregnancy test I think it was a Monday night at like 11 p.m. and obviously I go to bed at 9 p.m. like you, Mom. And so I was in bed fast asleep, and she comes in with the pregnancy test, like, "Hey, Nick, wake up! I think I'm pregnant. I see a faint line, but I think this is real." And I'm like, "No, we'll check in the morning. We'll just go back to bed."
That's awesome. Oh man, that's funny.
That's funny.
Oh,
That is.
I didn't know this. So Grammy just put in there 3 days with my
Oh,
mom. 3 days of labor.
3 days?
Yeah, I
Have
did
you
not.
ever heard of that, Mom?
I did not know that.
Really hard labor. It just feels like it goes on and on. Just not hard labor.
So, Aaron, you probably don't know this, but Mary was a labor and delivery nurse for what, 3 years?
I think 4.
4.
Okay.
So
I knew.
she's seen them tug the baby out by their.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was so. I'll never forget. Well, obviously, I'll never forget that day for multiple reasons. But seeing some of those things, I was like,
It's
sheesh.
it's like a little kid trying to reach in a tight spot and grab something, and they just start yanking because
Yeah.
they're grabbing it.
I was
Yeah,
like, these
but
things
it
are
won't
supposed
let
to be.
go.
These things are supposed to be very fragile, and I mean, they're just ripping it out of there like no problem. Okay.
Oh man.
Grammy said Monday till Wednesday.
Too funny. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, we pray that that's not Becca. That would be awful. What do you do as a guy? You just sit there and sit by her side, tell her it's okay, and even though she's been through this for like 36 hours now, and she's still got 36 more.
That's exactly right. That's all
Oh
you
my
can do.
word.
But if it
Guess
does
so.
take 36 hours or 3 days or whatever, that'll give me plenty of time to get down there. So,
Yeah, true.
yep. And
You
I
gotta
will
make
be
a
there.
beeline down here.
I will. As soon as I get the call, I'll be on my way.
What did you say, Mom?
I said, Stu, are you going to be in the delivery room too?
I don't know if it's 3 days, that'll give me plenty of time to get down there. If it's 45 minutes, no, but I'll see him right after. I did the same thing with Chris McNaney when they had their baby. He called me and he's like, "Hey, it's happening, it's happening." And so at the time, I was working my counseling job with Alexa. We were partners at work, and I called her and I'm like, "Hey, not coming to work today. I'm on my way to Virginia." And so I jumped in the car and headed down that way. And yeah, by the time I got down there, Rosalie was there, but I was like, I mean, it was just like hours after, and I was the
That's
first,
cool.
or no, I think Debbie and Jim were there. I was the first
How,
friend there, but it was
well,
cool.
where were they? Where were they? Were they in Virginia, Stu?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get there?
It's like a 5 hour drive, I think, 4.5, 5 hours, something like that,
Yeah.
down to
So,
Lynchburg.
Stu, Becca's asking, did you cry
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, we were actually talking about this today, like talking about our first impression of when my son comes out and Becca holds him and I hold him, like what are we gonna do?
You're both gonna
And
cry.
yeah, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I did So when they took Alexa into like the delivery room to prep her for the C-section, they gave me like the hospital gown and the whatever to like put on, and they were like, "Hey, we'll come get you, when we're ready to roll." So I pulled my phone out and like I recorded a video for Ellie that she'll see when I think I said when she turns 18. So I have it saved for her. Nobody else has seen it. Um, but while I was recording that video, I was crying already before I even met her. So,
Oh
um,
man.
but yeah, then yeah, once you hold her or him, um, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
I can imagine.
You're gonna
I
feel
can
feelings you
imagine.
never knew existed, pal.
Yeah.
Nick,
Yeah, my sister-in-law actually explained it really well. Kind of resonated with me that when you have a kid, it's essentially like you're wearing your heart outside your body.
Yeah,
wow.
Like your heart, or rather, it's like your heart is running around, and you essentially trying to look after it and keep up with it.
yep.
That is true. That is true.
That's true.
It's going to be even weirder when, we have our grandchild here, um, and spoiling him, and and then getting him all hyped up on sugar and all that kind of stuff, and then sending him back home. That'll be great. So
Yeah,
that
that'll be
then,
great.
yeah, Becca will probably be crying at that point.
Well, if it's any indication about how you spoil Ember, our dog, then I think our son will be all right.
He'll be in good hands.
He will be in great hands.
Uh, Alexa said even though it was kind of chaotic going from the OB to the hospital to the room to the C-section, or till the C-section happened, she felt oddly calm. Yeah, I would say we were both like, well, other than I kind of got a little heated with the doctor at one point because, or maybe it was one of the nurses there, but so we left the doctor to go to the hospital, well, to come home first and then go to the hospital. Um, Brian, are you frozen? Or are you
Yeah, I think
just
Brian is
sitting really
frozen.
still? Your camera's
Uh,
frozen.
We can
Uh-oh.
hear you, but his camera is frozen. Oh, there he is.
It's
Oh,
coming
he's coming
around.
back. He's coming back.
It's because he cut the cord. Should have kept the
He
cord plugged
did.
in.
He cut the cord and didn't increase his internet. Although
Oh,
I know he did. I know he did.
yeah.
while he's coming back around. So, um, when we got to the hospital, at that point we had been told like, "Hey, you're having your baby tonight." Well, then when we got there, Alexa, was it blood pressure or what was it? What was the number that was high? Because whatever it was at that point when we had gotten to the hospital, they took her they measured her again, and it had come down. And so the one nurse was like, "Well, no, we're just gonna send you home.
Mm.
Like you're not gonna have the baby tonight. We're just gonna send you home." Um, blood pressure. There you go. 200 over 10. 200 over 100. I was gonna say 200 over 10. That is not
Yeah,
accurate.
that would be that would
Um,
not be good.
but anyway, so I got like a little ticked off at that point because number one, I was ready. I had made it up in my mind that that day, June 11th, I was going to be a father. And then Alexa, she was like, "What? What?" She's like, "What if this happens again? Like, what if my blood pressure goes up again tomorrow? We don't have another doctor's appointment until our C-section in a week, right? Like, this could be risky for me, risky for the baby, and whatnot." So, when the nurse left, I was like, kind of fired up in the hospital room, and I was like, well, when that doctor comes in here, I'm gonna tell her we are having this baby. And Alexa can tell you, I was very worked up. And then the doctor came in. She's like, all right, are we ready to have a baby? I was like, I'm
Uh,
thinking like, do you guys communicate with one another? Like, I'm confused. But anyway, it was. Oh yeah. Also, I would have had to go to work then on an overnight shift, and didn't want to do that either. Didn't want. I didn't feel comfortable leaving Alexa by herself in case something happened, or like I said, her blood pressure or whatever. So yeah, it was a wild ride. So, but then we had the baby and everything was great. Ellie's great. She's still great.
oh yeah. How many days were you in the hospital?
So we were there on Friday night and we left Monday morning, early afternoon. So we were there all
Okay.
day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then like half the day
Yeah.
of Monday.
Yeah.
What about you, Dad?
Yep, same. Pretty much the same. We
Excuse me,
went
sorry
in.
guys.
Uh, went in. Obviously early in the morning. We're there all day. And I think they actually sent us home the morning of the third day. So we were only
Okay.
there like 2.5 days. So
Well, I was born on a Sunday. I know that because I always have to go in and select my birthday. So, and I was
Friday.
born at 8:31 a.m. So it
That's
looks like you guys left the hospital on Tuesday.
Sunday. Yeah, probably Tuesday. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
that's the weirdest. Yeah. Walking in is 2, walking out is 3. It's weird, weird, weird.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I feel Becca's belly a lot, and I at this point, we got 2 months left. We're 7 months in. I essentially want to talk to his face and see his face and hold him rather than the belly.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
wait to see him.
that's cool. That's cool.
Alexa, you and Becca should probably just like start a little like a text chat, back and forth where you're giving her all the tips because you're throwing good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Discharge did take forever. That was annoying. The waiting, and then also Nick, I will tell you to. Um, so when we left the hospital, no, Alexa, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be saying it in here. I don't mind. No, you don't have to be done. I'm just saying in general, this is good information to be sharing with Becca. Anyway, um, so Alexa at that point when we were like ready to leave on that Monday, she was like just ready to be home on her own couch in her own bed, in her own home. And so I went to get lunch that day at the cafeteria, and while I was down there, um, the doctors had come into Alexa and said that her Alexa, again, clarify here, it was some numbers were bad. Her oxygen was really bad, and her iron levels or something were too high or too low. And they, I guess, asked her like if she wanted medicine for it or whatever, and she just pretty much told them like, no, just get me out of here. Um, and that was not good. She came home, her iron was too low. Um, so we came home, and within like a couple of days, like she was getting Nick, well, Brian, you've been to my house too, so like from my living room to my or to my kitchen, not super far, 5-10
Yeah.
steps. She was like, in that walk, like she was like she just ran a marathon, like so out of breath. Um, Not good. She almost passed out going up the stairs the one time, holding Ellie, and I was like, this is not okay. So that Friday night, we were actually back in the hospital in the emergency room, um, with her, and she was readmitted back to the hospital. So all that to say, Nick, um, watch Becca, take care of her, make sure that everything's good, talk to the doctors, be active in the conversations because, yeah.
Of course. Of course. I know that she's been the only real complication, and it hasn't even been with pregnancy, is she had a root canal, and so she had like pain that she couldn't take ibuprofen, so
Mm,
she was just like, oh my gosh, it was bad, but luckily, like, nothing happened with the baby, or like nothing happened with the pregnancy, so everything went well. She came out on the other side of it, and now I think the next thing is birth. So
yeah.
Nick,
hopefully
did you get your class in?
my class,
Yeah, the class that got canceled. Remember the
the
birthing class?
class that got
The
canceled. Oh
pelvic
yeah,
class?
the birthing class. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so. There's like we ended up getting a doula for the duration of the pregnancy, and just so that they could be there, and Becca could have someone that she could talk to at any point and ask questions to. And so she's actually going to she's coming over, I think, Monday,
Oh,
and she's
okay.
going to go through like I guess a personal birthing class with us, and
That's
kind
cool.
of let us know about everything. And we went through like a company or a organization or whatever, and they had a birthing class that they canceled, but we just decided that we can
Sure.
just do it with the doula.
Sure. Cool. Cool. I tell you what, man. I'm sure. How old's your little one, Aaron?
2.5.
You know, I mean, you think about it, things have changed so dramatically,
Yeah.
you know, since I was where you guys are at now,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just crazy. It is just crazy. You know, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, like Nick, you sent us the picture, you know, and you know, we had there's
Of the ultrasound.
yeah, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we got to see it, you know, we got to see you guys, but you know, there was no picture, you know, there was no cell phone to take a picture of the picture, so
You
it
had
was crazy.
a Polaroid, the little throwaway cameras. I don't know if they were around then, but I remember those.
Yeah, they
Um,
were.
but I was even thinking, even for Nick, like my experience versus your experience is also going to be very different because Ellie was born like right in the heart of COVID,
Oh,
and
geez.
so like in the hospital we couldn't have any family there, nobody, not one. Um, it was just Alexa and I allowed in the room. Shout out to my mom. She brought me some Rutter's tea the one night, and I was like, can we just let my mom come up and meet her granddaughter? And they would not let her. Even if she put a mask on, like, would not let her at all. We had to wear masks, which was really, really dumb in the or in the room on like all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Whenever the doctors came in, we had to put masks on, and it was really, really dumb. But even the appointments leading up to it, like there
Yeah.
were several appointments that I had to attend virtually from the parking lot because as the father, I was not
Oh,
I was not necessary. It was not necessary for me to be in the room. Um, so as we got closer to the birth, the ultrasound they did let me like come in and be a part of them then, which I thought was really odd because it was like I guess COVID wouldn't. It didn't matter like up until she got to like 6 months, right? It was like hey, you're not allowed to be involved. But now all of a sudden we're past 6 months, so now you're okay. Now you're in the clear. You can't transmit COVID when you come in. I don't know. Super dumb, super weird. Um, but we'll, even just missing some of those things, not being able to be involved in some of those things was rather obnoxious. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I should have invited you to all of our birthing or like
yeah,
birth appointments,
yeah. Well,
pregnancy
even
appointments.
Alexa, if you're in here, remind me too, because I'm pretty sure we tried to schedule like a birthing class, but they wouldn't. We couldn't even do that. Like it was all virtual. It was just a bunch of videos. That's all it was. And I'm thinking
Wow.
like this is one of those things where like I don't think a video is gonna cut it, right? Like I
Oh,
don't I don't
kind
think
of
that's
a
I don't think that's the same thing.
birth is kind of an in-person thing,
Yeah, I
you
would
know.
think, but
But Becca reminded me that we do have an appointment tomorrow, so we get to get everything checked out and make sure everything's still good to go.
Wow.
perfect. And you guys
That
are
is
not sharing a name, or you not sharing the name? Is that correct?
Sharing the name. Yeah, we don't know what the
Oh,
name
you
is.
don't know yet. Okay.
No.
It's probably
Yeah,
gonna
we have
be
a
like
few options, but
You know, it might be, you know, DWAIN, you know, that would probably work.
I was gonna say
yeah.
Brian Aaron Brinson. I like it.
Brian, Aaron, Dwayne, Brinson. Might just tack on a few more middle names.
Bro, give your kid like 6 middle names.
I know.
Just make it super obnoxious. Dude, okay, so while we're on
Wait. Brian, Dwayne, Kristaps, Porzingis, Ty, Brinson.
all right,
That's what it's gonna be.
I want to hear from both of you. What's the weirdest name you've ever heard in your life?
Um,
Ooh,
Because let me tell you, in 2023, the year that we're living in, there are some odd ones out there. There
there
are some
are,
odd ones out there.
especially in sports. That might be just because they're out there for everyone to see, but man, sport like whether it be baseball, football, basketball, there are some odd names out there.
well, the weirdest one I have ever heard in my mind is there was a young lady that named her daughter Placenta.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So that was pretty weird. Placenta.
Oh my gosh, where did you hear that one, or where did you? How do you know that?
Harrisburg. When Mare was in labor and delivery in Harrisburg. At
Wait, did
Harrisburg.
she deliver placenta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, she delivered too. Maybe.
Yeah, she delivered too.
Yeah, there's some
That
pretty wild
is
out there.
Oh gosh.
wow.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Stu?
so I heard one time the name was Obsede, and I'm gonna let you both of you try to spell that.
Ob City.
It could be like obsidian, like Obsidian or IA.
Nope, that is incorrect.
It
Say
could
it
be
again.
like
Say it again, Stu.
Abdul.
Say it again, Stu.
Obsede.
Obsed. Abeseda.
Ready for this? ABCDE.
Get out
The
of
first
here.
5 letters of the alphabet.
Obsidian.
No joke. No joke.
Oh,
No
that's
joke.
funny.
When I heard that, I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And then I'm thinking like, so if you have a second kid, is his name like Fugajukul? You know, like what?
Well, maybe
Oh
that's the
man,
guy's middle name. Maybe that's his middle
yeah,
name.
well, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Absede
Well,
Fugajukul.
I kind of like the name Elemento. You know.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's
That is wow.
yeah,
Oh,
Becca. It
gosh.
kind of sounds like opposite day. That's what we should have just. That's what they should have named him instead of Obsede. It's opposite day.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
I've heard some pretty wild ones, man. Just like obviously there's the ones like Porsche and all that, a Mercedes, the whole car thing. But
Yeah.
so Nick, you were talking about sports, and I see that a lot of hyphenated names. What's the deal? Why are they hyphenated?
Yeah,
Any
what's the
idea?
deal?
What's the deal?
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why you would hyphenate a name other than the last name. You know what I mean? I mean, like,
That's what I
actually,
mean.
actually, our niece Dima Shines, her full name is Dima Shines Forever Hepfer, I believe.
Are you serious?
Um, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah, and
didn't
I
know that.
think somewhere in there it is hyphenated, but yeah, and then our other niece AJ is actually Atlanta Jade Hepfer. So unique names can be.
So I know you know all the Stu, all the brothers that work at Vitro. What's their last name? The Hispanic, they all work in
Oh,
shipping.
the Medinas.
Yeah, the Medinas.
Yep.
So I was talking to, I think it was Carlos the one time, and he was saying that they actually take both their parents' names as their
Yeah.
last name.
Yep.
So, I can see how that would be hyphenated,
Yeah, so
but
it would be like Nicholas Ty Nolf Brinson or
right,
Brinson Nolf type thing.
right. So,
Interesting.
So
but
we at Vitro we have, I would say, probably 10 right now. They're like interns from Mexico,
oh,
but they've
really?
they've gotten like visas, like they're here for I think 3 years, um, working up in our plant as like engineers and stuff, and all of them have like 4 names, so they got their first name, their middle name, and then 2 last names.
Really?
So like I kind of said before, so we have this like manpower schedule we send out, and I'm a big Excel guy. So like in the one column you have like their last name, and then next column you have their first name, and it used to all fit on one page. But then when we have these like now these interns, like their names are just so long, and it's not even like a lot of their first names and their middle names are longer as well, because it's like Alejandro Garcia Guerrero Martinez, right? And it's like it, yeah. So now I have to, I literally I never had to do this before, but now I have to put a setting on when I print it. I have to go into and click a page setup and click fit all columns to page,
Well,
where I didn't have
Wow.
to do that before.
you just got to change your font size, man. You
Oh, I
know,
guess so. I get then it makes it smaller and nobody can read it.
Well,
that might be.
bring it down to 8, bring it down to 6, maybe even
Yep.
4. You
I don't
ever
know.
looked at four font? Neither
Size
have
4
I.
font. I don't want to. I don't think I'll be able to see it.
No.
Brian might
I know
need
my
some
dad.
electronic assist eyeglasses for that. kind of like his
Yeah.
bike.
Yep.
Oh man,
Well, on that note,
You're too funny.
what do we got here? We are, oh my gosh, we are an hour and 10. Wow, look at that. Time flies when you're having fun.
yeah,
I did not,
talking
I
about your
was,
kids.
I was expecting this to be at like 45 minutes right now. Becca, where was that? Because there was, Brian, you probably remember, at Redland, there was Luke Cox. Was that his brother Mike? There was
Yeah.
two of them. Okay.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Cox and Luke Cox. Yeah.
There's actually 3 Cox brothers. So,
Can't even say that with a straight face, can you, Brian?
so
Uh, that's funny. I love that
Mike
you
Cox,
just laughed at that. That's so funny.
he played in the NFL, right? Was there any Cox brothers that played in the NFL?
yeah, he played for the Chiefs.
Any others?
He was a fullback, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was a fullback, and that's the reason his career was so short. So I mean, they don't even use fullback anymore. I don't think. I haven't
No.
seen one.
Barely used
No,
running
that
backs.
I did see the other day. There was a fullback that scored a touchdown. I can't remember
Really?
what team it was, but I know it wasn't Mike Cox because he retired.
Yes, he did. He is actually. I think. Where did I just see him the other day? I saw him somewhere, but yeah. So there were 3 brothers.
Didn't they
So,
all go to Georgia Tech too? Am I remembering that wrong? I feel like I remember seeing
Oh yeah,
at Georgia
I
Tech.
think you're right.
2 of them did. I'm not sure
Okay.
about the third.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What did she? What did she knew? She grew up with a Mike Cox.
Yeah, and James Buchanan. She
Chambersburg?
said. I
Mercersburg.
guess there was another Mike
So
Cox.
that's a different Mike Cox.
Mike
Yeah.
Cox.
I just assumed it was the same one.
I
Oh.
guess there's more than one out there.
Yeah. So have you guys ever pulled that prank? Giving somebody
prank?
else things? So is Mike Hunt around? That whole prank. Have you guys ever done that at a drive-in or a grocery store or any place like that?
I have not.
talking
And
about-
let me tell you, the
Are
last
you
person
talking
I
about
expected.
Hugh Jazz?
Huh?
Are you talking about Hugh Jazz?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
him, too.
okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, I have not. And let me tell you, the last person that I expected to hear that from was Brian Brinson. That just made my day, made my week. That's awesome. And I'm gonna do it
Oh,
now.
my
I'm gonna
word.
do it next time I go to Chick-fil-A and they ask, "Can I get a name for the order?" Bam, there it is. And then I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna say this was for Brian Brinson. That's awesome.
Brian Dwayne Bwinton.
Yes.
Yeah, Brian Dwayne.
Brian Dwayne Bwinton.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway.
Well, I have
Yeah,
to
excuse
say,
me.
I appreciate you guys letting me come on and fill the unfillable position of being Jared. So
The
thank you.
gigantic shoes,
Yes,
The
very
gigantic.
gigantic.
Gerald
And
Huff.
Yeah.
I probably should have brought my Nike Sasquatch, but yeah,
No, Nike Square.
oh, was it the square?
The
I thought it was
square.
Yeah.
No.
Nike
so-
Square Driver.
The
yeah.
Square. No, we do need to get that. If you want to bring it and smack it at the driving range, or if you want to just pass it off to me and Jared,
I
and
can do-
we'll go smack it. But we need to record that sound before it breaks, and you can't do it anymore because that was a sound like no other.
Yeah, why don't you guys go to the driving range one day and Stu, you record him hitting a ball with the Nike Square Driver.
Oh,
We'll post it to our TikTok and YouTube, whatever, and it'll just live in infamy.
yeah, that was. I'll never forget that day.
but
Gong.
yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me hang out and
Well, this was the first time, Brian, and it will not be the last. You'll be
I-
back. We loved having Brian
100%.
here. He is
So,
Nick's dad. They have the same last name. And he
He
has no hair.
I have hair.
you don't have to call me Brian E. B either. So
What did Jared
Beab.
start calling you? Yeah, Beab, because it was
Beab.
Brian
Yeah.
Electronic Assist Brinson, Beab.
oh
I was like,
EAB.
I'm not gonna.
what the heck? So
I'm gonna-
I mean, I could see being called B squared, but
B squared. I think
yeah.
I think I've taken to calling you Bry Guy sometimes. Maybe
Yeah.
Bry
That's
guy.
true. I'll be honest. We all after that episode where we nicknamed you Brian Electronic Assist Brinson, Dewey, me, Becca, and Jared all put your name in our phones as Brian Electronic Assist Brinson.
Yeah, when you texted me today and asked me about the headset,
Yeah.
um, you came up and it was like this long name, and I was like, "Am I getting like a spam text right now?" And then I read the name, I'm like, "Ah, that's funny." I forgot that I had done it, and then it cracked me up. And Becca
Oh
also just
god.
wants to remind everybody that Aaron Rodgers is indeed a sandbagger, which is why he is in the center of our screen there, um,
Oh gosh.
still in his Packers attire it looks like, but he's holding some sandbags because he is just an absolute sandbagger.
Aaron Rodgers is a
So,
sandbagger.
so what about some of these other guys though, like Fields? What do you think about Fields, man?
Justin
Fields.
Fields, yeah, he's they got to move on. Chicago has to move on.
It's crazy. I mean, all these guys going down. It's crazy.
Well, they just talked. I was watching before we went live. If I heard it right, Chicago had the number one overall pick last year,
Yeah.
and they traded down because they
Yep.
like. I guess they still thought he was their guy.
Yeah.
He's made it pretty clear that he's not the guy. I
Yeah.
think.
I think I
Thing is,
heard today that they're in the league this year. There have been 10 rookie quarterbacks that have started.
yeah,
So
My
that's
word.
crazy.
I
That
That
is,
is nuts.
thing is he doesn't have like a really elite, really solid number one, but he's got like DJ Moore is no slouch.
yeah.
Darnell Mooney is no slouch. He's got good options. They're not AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, right? They're not elite number ones, Tyreek Hill, but he's got good wideouts and he's got a great tight end too, Cole Kmet. Like there's no excuse to not be somewhat more productive and efficient.
But I'm wondering if it's not so much him as it is the system or,
Well,
you
maybe.
know, because I look at it as a coach, I've got to make sure that my system is fitting the team that I've got.
Yeah.
When I was coaching, if I didn't have a big man, why in the world am I shipping it inside?
Right.
When Nick was playing in high school, they didn't have a big man, but the coach that they had wanted them to shove the ball inside. And it's like, dude, well, no wonder you're not doing any good. So
Right. Because I am the system.
that's
When I'm
right.
playing basketball, I am the system.
Indeed.
Okay. You just need the beard, man. That's all. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the beard, yeah.
so I
Amen.
just wonder, Stu and Nick, if it's not so much the talent, if it's the system, if it's the system or if it's, just bad play calling,
Yeah.
whatever.
It could be, and I think moving on from him and letting him go somewhere else and um works. I mean, we saw it last year with the Broncos, right? They brought in Nathaniel Hackett with the intention of trying to bring Aaron Rodgers over there. And then when they didn't get Aaron Rodgers, I think Hackett tried to force Russell Wilson into
Yeah.
an Aaron Rodgers style offense, and it didn't work. Um, and I know the Broncos' record doesn't indicate they're having a great year, but Russell Wilson has played great this year under Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So maybe that is the case. Maybe he just needs to go somewhere else and be under a different, in a different scheme. But I think that's like when you separate coaching, like the Bill Belichick's, right? They're aware of that and they know, and you can like
Well, but
they
look,
can adapt their scheme to the player. That's I think that's the mark of a
well,
good coach.
so in that case, though, Stewie, then so does Belichick not have talent this year? Because they're doing terrible, man. I mean, they're like what, 1-7 or something like that.
So
So
Yeah.
did he not adjust?
so I'm personally not a big fan of Mac Jones at all, but you could argue the contrary and say look what he did with Jimmy Garoppolo, with Jacoby Brissett, even when Tom Brady was suspended for the first 4 games after Deflategate, he came. I would say he adapted the offense, and they were 4-0. I don't think anybody was expecting them to be 4-0 without Tom Brady in those first 4 games. So, but at that time too, I think they had a really good running game. They had pretty good wideouts, and like this year, I don't
They
know.
really have.
Ramondre
Well,
Stevenson, he's good. He's okay, but their wideouts, man, their wideouts are not good.
Yeah.
At the same time, the Patriots haven't been good since Brady left, right?
Yeah, well, that's
Uh,
because they went to Mac Jones,
they've been they've
Well,
been they've been decent, but not
not what
bad.
they
Like,
were.
yeah.
But I
yeah.
mean, that's to be expected, though, right? I mean, Tom Brady's
Well, I mean,
arguably the greatest of all
Yeah.
time. You're gonna
I
but
take
mean,
a
to me, that points to Tom Brady being the more important factor than over Belichick.
so what you're saying is that Tom Brady is the Michael Jordan of the NFL,
Absolutely.
because he's the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
the
not the
GOAT.
second greatest of all time.
Not
So
the second greatest.
so what's your explanation then for my Detroit Lions this year? So is it coaching or is it talent or what is it?
So I think Jared Goff, I think he got like the raw end of the deal in LA. He wasn't bad. They shipped him out of there as if he was like some slouch, and I don't think he got any of the respect that he deserved for being out there. So I think, um,
Well, but look at the situation though. So they shipped out the Lions shipped out Stafford, and he wins the Super Bowl the year after he leaves. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it
That
doesn't.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know. And again, with sports or like anything, you can't boil it down to one factor that just kind of changes everything. I think it's been a number of factors, and I mean, for the Lions, it's been a long time. But
Dude,
well,
I
and
dude,
think they may have turned a corner finally and actually found something that worked.
oh my word,
and
it's
let's
just
but let's also pretend or not pretend like, and you guys both know this, playing basketball and coaching basketball, so much about sports too is mental, right? It's
yeah.
mental. So Matt Stafford played how many years of his career in Detroit and they just got demoralized, year after year after year. So maybe for him it was literally just a change of scenery is what he needed, somewhere to start over, somewhere to you
Yeah.
know just be fresh and new team, and maybe golf was that too. I don't know.
I
Um,
think I think that's a good point in not just sports but life, man.
yeah,
I mean, you think about it. Think about the jobs that you guys have had. And where you're at now. Are you happier? And was it because of environment or whatever? So it's a great points too.
yeah. Um, we see like baseball last year. We saw well, I mean we talked at the very beginning of this. Or no, that wasn't live. We were talking before about Nick Castellanos goes from one series where he's hitting 5 home runs and destroying the Braves, and then the next series he goes 1 for 24. Nick, I know in your basketball career, there are probably times where you're shooting and you can't miss, and then you roll into the next game and maybe you go 1 for 10 from behind the arc or something. Those types of things
I
happen, man.
know.
It gets in your head, and you feel like you're
But
doing everything the same way, but
yeah,
it's mental.
especially now that I'm getting older, I experience it like playing basketball every. I'm playing basketball every week in a league, and man, it's just the difference between my even mid 20s and now my early 30s is a big difference. Like I don't have as much energy, and I can't just go out there, not work out or not do some type of exercise and not stretch and just go out there and play and perform. I've got to do all the stretches. I've now got to put in the work to exercise and actually be in a little bit of shape before I go out there and perform. It's
Well,
otherwise I'm just like putting up a
that
brick
that
house.
that is a great rationale for me getting an e-bike. So
Ah, we had to circle back around to that,
heck
to the
yeah.
e-bike.
Mm,
So,
You know
I
what,
just
Brian? All
uh,
right, I'll
you
give it to
almost
you,
made me spit out my drink, Brian.
Dad.
That's right. I call you Brian.
B ab, Brian guy.
so anyway.
Awesome. All right. Well, Kyle, I'm not sure why you're just seeing this. We have been live since 8 o'clock. It's now 9:27. We are an hour and 27 minutes in. So I apologize that you didn't see it before. That's your fault, not mine, though. But we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll go final thoughts. put Brian on the spot. Brian, you have any final thoughts? Anything to leave our well, that's just Facebook. Anything to leave our viewers with till next Thursday?
Um, yeah, it's just this some friendly advice. Never pet a burning dog.
Never pet a burning dog.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
sounds
those are
that
wise.
sounds good.
That's wise words.
Yes.
Would you also advise the same people to not eat yellow snow?
I would,
You
yes.
would? Okay.
And don't pet a burning dog while you're eating yellow snow.
That just sounds like a recipe for disaster if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, who likes the lemon flavor anyway?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what you got? Final thoughts, leaving the viewers with something, a nugget of truth.
Final thoughts. I'll go back to pregnancy and birth. I'm just excited to have my son and for him to finally be here and
Yeah,
for all
dude,
you
we're
guys to meet him. And so, oh man, can't get here soon enough.
We are pumped for you, man.
Yeah.
So Kyle, we go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m.
Thursday night, 8 p.m.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m.
And,
So if anybody's in here and you have not followed some of our accounts, it would be really appreciated if you did. We are on TikTok, we are on Twitch, we are on Facebook.
And
you can
we
find
are
us
on YouTube.
and you can find us on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube at JSNB Talk. So any followers, subscribers, whatever the whatever it's called on that platform would be greatly appreciated. We're just trying to kind of build those followings, build those platforms up. Watch our
speaking of
videos, interact. Yeah,
what kind of fellowship? And that's a good word.
fellowship. I think you just created that word.
Fellowship you have? What kind of subscription basis do you have?
So on TikTok, we just cleared 50 followers this week. I think we're at like 53, 54 now, something like that.
55.
55. So we were pretty pumped to clear 50, and so I think our
Nice.
next goal is going to be 100. We're going to try to get up there to triple digits. So we are uploading probably 2 to 3 videos a day. We're clipping up some of these lives for now, and we're uploading like 2-3 videos a day that we think are pretty entertaining, pretty fun. So check those out. Eventually, we will be pulling some. We'll be kind of making some other video. I mean, like I said, we're gonna go hit the Nike Square Driver here soon. We're gonna put that video on TikTok. That's gonna live for forever. So there will be other good content coming. YouTube, I think we just hit 10 subscribers. I think that one's a little bit harder to get
Yeah.
followers or subscribers on than TikTok, but we hit 10 subscribers there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we gotta clip up just some because I think we have our live videos there and then our shorts there. So I think we'll probably have to get some like shorter form videos that are not quite shorts, maybe like three to 10 minutes. But we'll get there.
We'll get there, but we're working hard and we're having a great time while we're doing it. So
That's the cool part. That's the fun part, man.
yep. So cool. Everybody who's still here, thank you guys for coming in. Grammy, Kyle, Becca, Alexa, Dougie B. I'm just trying to remember some of the people we saw in here. The guy who was insulting Brian for no apparent reason at all.
Paul
Paul Peters. If you're still around, I apologize for putting you in timeout, but you were just coming at my guy the wrong way, and he didn't deserve it, so you deserved your timeout. I have no regrets. But thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for chatting, and we will see y'all next week, Thursday at 8. Later.